Lord at thy right hand shall strike through kings in the day of his wrath. He shall judge among the heathen. He will fill the places with their dead bodies. He shall wound the heads over many countries. Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashalam Washai Ba'ashem Rakak Badash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors to the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners who look like the heathen nations, and to the Akwaf that are listening and learning. To you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone, coming at you with another lesson in truth. This is a video that was put up by the brother Nathan Yawasop called They Covet Fields.
We came here and created a blank slate. We birthed a nation from nothing. I mean, there's nothing here. I mean, yes, we have Native Americans, but candidly, that.
So he said that the Gadites, the holy people that were here, with all the evidences and all the different books and resources that prove that the people, and the Bible most importantly, that prove that the people who are here in the Americas were indeed of the tribes of Israel. Okay? This man just said that we were nothing. We were nothing.
There isn't much Native American culture in American culture.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and house them and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
It's important, then, that we have a look at some history. What is white supremacy? White supremacy, or white supremacism, is a racist ideology based upon the belief that white people are superior in many ways to people of other races, and that therefore white people should be dominant over other races.
Now remember, white is something that they made up in 1681 in Virginia. And when you look at this man's skin, he's red. And the Bible speaks about the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. These are your true red people. Native Americans were brown. Many looked just like Negroes, especially back then. All right, before all the forced rape, which is he's going to talk about. All right, you also have to remember that a lot of natives got reclassified as Negroes.
The term is also typically used to describe a political ideology that perpetuates and maintains the social, political, historical, or institutional domination by white people. Bit of history. Famous figure, Benjamin Franklin. If it be the design of Providence to extirpate these savages in order to make room for cultivators of the earth, it seems not improbable that rum may be the appointed means.
Now let's look that up, because they were giving Gad fire water. So, gonna look that word up. Extirpate. Give me a second. This is weird. I never did that before. out, destroy completely, extirpate, to root out, destroy completely. Use every legal measure to extirpate this land. And that's how they look at my people, at my brothers, my sisters.
For edification, let me grab that for the brother. Like the brother was saying, to destroy completely, wipe out, to pull up by the root, to cut out by surgery. Resume.
They, in Micah, how they cover field and take them by violence. As a matter of fact, let's get Second Ezra. No, not Second Ezra, but Sirach 10 and 8. And it reads, because of unrighteous dealings and injuries and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Well, there's a part 2 to manifest destiny. All right, the kingdom is going to get translated to us by extreme violence, all under the authority of who the world ignorantly calls God, because he's going to initiate this violence.
And of course it was. Right? It's an expression of we ought to be the ones.
For the edification, I'll get that too real quick for the brother. Because what the brother's really saying is that the saints are going to ultimately take the kingdom. And there's nothing that these Edomites can do about that to stop what the Most High is bringing down the pipeline. This is Sirach 10 and 8. It say, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries and breaches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Now, in the scriptures, see, because the saints are going to take the kingdom ultimately. This is Daniel 7 and 22. Until the Ancient of Days came, which is who? The Most High Power would say, and judgment was given to the saints. Who are the saints? The Israelites of the Most High. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. So we're going to take the kingdom by violence and by force, if have to be. Daniel 7:25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. And that's what they're doing today. They're wearing us out by their vain philosophies, and by their coaches, and by their systems that's been set in place to destroy Jake and to keep the masses down, and most of all by their idols. And think to change times, and Esau did change the times and the times and the seasons, and made and put names on months and days, and Esau is trying to play the part of the Heavenly Father. It say, in laws, Esau made his own laws up. It say, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and dividing of times. And we are going through that right now. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. So we're ultimately going to take the kingdom, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall serve and obey him. And that him that is talking about is Yahushua, because ultimately Yahushua was given the authority over all the kingdoms, over everything on earth. So when Yahushua come back, he's going to put these kings down, through destruction, through death, and put and everybody's going to go back under subjection. So the kingdom will be back with the Israelites. Because ultimately, the saints are going to take the kingdom. Daniel 7:18. But the saints of the heaven of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and ever and ever. So there's going to be a change of rulership. There's going to be a change of power, and the saints are going to take the kingdom. So going back over here to the brother video,
To take this land, because after all, we'll work it properly. We'll use it in the ways that it was meant to be used, because after all, we know how to use it. And we know the ways in which...
Now, is that so? Because since they've been in control, you can't drink the water, breathe the air. The meat is poison. There's viruses everywhere. There's all kind of sickness and illnesses. As a matter of fact, there was no gonorrhea, no syphilis, no herpes, no AIDS, no lupus, no fever, no flus, no HN anything. All that came with these people, his people, the true red man, who is Esau Edom, who now calls himself white.
it was intended to be used. And these folks don't. 1776. As the United States of America comes into existence, a reflection. He, the king, has excited domestic insurrections among us and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers the merciless Indian savages whose known rule of warfare is an undistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions.
So you fight and defend yourself, you basically become a terrorist. I mean, we've seen that narrative over and over again. The U.S. forces and the Allied forces going to different parts of what they with the so-called Middle East. That's another name that they made up. All right, and or different places in Africa, when they want resources and you're not playing ball with them when they want your resources, you just simply get labeled as a terrorist and dehumanized, and now that makes it okay for them to drop bombs and send soldiers in, boots on the ground, to shoot, kill, blow up, maim, and take away your land. And then when you try to fight back, they call you a savage and a terrorist for defending yourself.
A reflection on this perception of the godless heathen savage that has no moral conscience. And yet in 1864, the Sand Creek Massacre, 750 Colorado volunteers of the 3rd